We welcome you to the services of Cody James Brotherson. I want to convey our love and support to the family at this most difficult time. We also acknowledge in attendance Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox. We also acknowledge the attendance of Elder Stephen K. Randall, with the 70s of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and his wife, Kathy. We acknowledge the many dignitaries from West Valley City, Mayor Bigelow, City Manager Wayne Pyle, West Valley City Council, and the many other city dignitaries. We also acknowledge the other local church, law enforcement, state, local government officials. We're grateful to recognize the many law enforcement officers that have traveled many miles to be with us to support the Brotherson family. I'm Deputy Chief Steve Sandquist. The family has asked that I conduct. Prior to these services, family prayer was offered by Sergeant J. Huel of the West Valley City Police Department. We will begin these services with an opening prayer by Jerry Wellman, a West Valley City Honorary Colonel, Chaplain.
Our Father in heaven, we gather today to honor the life of a courageous young man. Cody Brotherson was killed in the line of duty, and we recognize his service in the service of his community. Today we mourn with his family. He is their son, cousin, nephew, brother, grandson, and fiance. And we ask a blessing of comfort on his family in their time of grief. Father, we also ask a blessing of comfort and safety for those who worked with Cody and those in every department who daily protect and serve. We are grateful to live in America, and we ask that our leaders be blessed with wisdom. We ask inspiration for our community leaders as they act in our behalf. Bless also our department leaders, that their leadership may be wise and unselfish. We ask today that as we mourn, we will find peace in knowing that Cody was an example to others in his daily life. May we seek to emulate those traits and serve others. We thank thee, Father, for all the blessings in our lives and the freedoms we enjoy every day. In the sacred name of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
The order of the program has changed a little bit. We would be pleased to hear a eulogy from Jenny Brotherson, Cody's mother, who will be followed by Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox. Lieutenant Governor will be followed by Chief Lee Russo, West Valley City Police Department, and then Mayor Ron Bigelow of West Valley City. Following Mayor Bigelow, we will be pleased to hear from Braden Brotherson, Cody's brother. Following Braden's remarks, we will have a musical number by Officer Brianne Wolfgram, who will be accompanied by William So and Zachary So. We'll go to that point.
Well, as it would turn out, I don't have his obituary with me. So what I'm going to do instead is just say a few words about my beautiful son, Cody. Cody came into this world full of life, our oldest. And his entire life, he wanted to be a police officer. Mom tried to talk him out of it several times, but he never listened. What I want everybody to understand about Cody is before he was a police officer, he was our son. He was fiercely protective of his two brothers, Brayden and Alex. He promised them from heaven to hell, he would follow them. Cody was loyal to his core. We were lucky enough to live in West Valley, and with Cody working here, we knew that somebody was out there watching over us every night. He made sure to stop by before his shifts. And sometimes we were lucky enough to have him stop by after his shifts. So I'm going to say what Cody said when, oh, good, they got me the obituary too, and I'll say this. Whenever Cody came over, before he walked out the door, it was always, I love you, Mom. And my response was always the same, I love you too, be safe. And he always said, I got this. Okay. Our strong, heroic, beautiful son, Cody James Brotherson, born June 5th, 1991, was tragically taken from us while in the line of duty on November 6, 2016. Cody was the firstborn son of Jeff and Jenny Brotherson. Cody was full of life and energy from the moment he took his first breath, and he immediately stole our hearts. Cody spent his childhood sharing many boys would be boys adventures with his first best friends, Tyler and Dustin. If you saw these three coming, you knew trouble was not far behind. These three boys grew into adulthood together and loved each other always. Cody graduated from Granger High School in 2009. He then attended the University of Utah studying business, then went to the Salt Lake Community College Post program, which helped him pave the way to achieving his lifelong goal of becoming a police officer. That dream was realized when Cody joined West Valley City Police Force in December of 2013. Cody loved his job and helping to make the world a better, safer place for all. Cody 100% loved and was loyal to all those fortunate enough to call him family or friend. This took on a new meaning and went to a completely different level with his family and his brothers and sisters in blue. Cody is survived by his parents, his two younger brothers, Brayden and Alex, who he protected with all he had until his last breath, his love and soulmate, Jessica Lee, their dog, Bolo, and Jessica's family. He's also survived by his aunt and uncle, Mandy and Darren Richards, Aunt Terry and Uncle Ricky, cousins Dallas, Nate, Bailey, great-grandma Phyllis Garso, and newly found grandparents Bill and Denise Brotherson. He was greeted and carried into heaven by his maternal grandparents, Fred and Karen Turner. He would be loved and missed by many friends, too many to name all. But his crew, Chris, Dustin, Jeremy, Tyler, and Kivo. And of course, his brothers and sisters in blue, you were his family too. The family wishes to thank the West Valley Police Department and the many other law enforcement groups and friends who have reached out to us during this devastating loss. In Cody's honor and memory, please take the time to thank those who put their lives on the line every day to keep us safe. Cody, you are forever our hero, our protector, a piece of our family puzzle, and we will never allow you to be forgotten. We will forever miss the love and laughter you brought home to us each day. We love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sobering, humbling, and awe-inspiring experience to be here with you today. Jenny, thank you for your bravery. Today you represented not just your family, but millions of mothers across this country who pray every night that their sons and daughters who stand in harm's way will return safely. We honor you and your family. Governor Herbert sends his regards. It is with deep regret that he is out of the state and unable to attend this morning. However, he did have the opportunity to spend precious time with the family, time that he will deeply appreciate and never forget. As I thought about what I might be able to share briefly with you this morning, my thoughts returned to an experience I had just a few weeks ago. My wife talked me into running a marathon with her, which was my first mistake. As we were preparing, some of our friends with the Highway Patrol asked if we would want to run with them, and we agreed that that would be fun to do. And so we trained, and we went, and we started the race. Now, in preparation for this race, they gave me a shirt that said Team Highway Patrol that I wore very proudly. And as I started the run, I realized I had made a huge mistake, not just because I was running 26 miles and wholly unprepared for that event, but because I was wearing a shirt that said Team Highway Patrol. As I started running, I noticed something happening. People kept tapping me on the shoulder as they passed me, and just about everybody was passing me. And as they tapped me on the shoulder, they said, "Thank you for your service." Now, I could only imagine what they would have said if I had been wearing a shirt that said Team Politician. They probably would have tripped me and made sure I didn't finish the race. But everyone that was passing me thought that I was a member of our incredible law enforcement team here in the state of Utah. You see, I didn't earn that shirt, and I didn't earn their praise. But I learned a couple lessons that morning. The first is that while I didn't earn that shirt, Cody did. I learned that there are so many brave men and women here in this audience today and across our state and across our nation who do incredible things every day that go unnoticed and unheralded. The second thing I learned was that here in the state of Utah, we appreciate law enforcement. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily true in every community across our country, but we need it to be more true today than ever. I'm grateful today to be able to represent the 3 million citizens of the state of Utah in paying tribute to Cody and to all of you who put on the uniform and protect us. Cody gave his life serving his community, the community in which he was raised, a community that he loved. And that should mean something to all of us. The Bible teaches us that greater love hath no man than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. That's the ultimate sacrifice, and Cody made that for us. I would ask just this in conclusion, that we talk often about never forgetting those who have sacrificed for us, and then we go out and we forget. We do, it's normal, it's natural. Cody's family will never forget. And I hope that we will hang on to that memory and his sacrifice. But more than just remembering, it should be about doing. Cody, from the time he was young, wanted to give back to his community. He wanted to do something good. He wanted to do something brave. He wanted to do something bigger than him. He wanted to do, as the Greek philosopher said, to tame the savageness of man and make gentle the life of this world. Might we follow his example? Our country needs it more than ever. Might we go out and try to do something for someone else? For some of you, that will be just putting on the uniform and going to work tomorrow. But for the rest of us, it needs to be something more than that. It needs to be reaching out to our neighbors, to our friends, looking for those who are struggling, the downtrodden, to people who are different than us, who look different than us, who sound different than us, who are different than us, finding ways to be more unified, finding ways to make this a better place to live, finding ways to make gentle the life of this world. May God bless Cody. May God bless his family. Please know that 3 million people mourn with you. We love you. And may God bless all who sacrifice and serve. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to begin my remarks by welcoming each and every one of you to today's services, where we recognize and celebrate the life, service, and sacrifice of Officer Cody Brotherson, who was suddenly and tragically taken from us during the early morning hours of Sunday, November 6, 2016. I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come here today to pay your respects to Cody and his family and to the police department. Many of you are here as Cody's friends, you're members of the greater law enforcement community, or you're just simply members of our community together who are paying tribute to a fallen hometown hero. Some of you have traveled great distances to be with us today. We are deeply touched and honored by your presence. Throughout this week, I've had a number of people stop me and express their heartfelt condolences at the loss of our first fallen officer. I've had many people tell me of the stories and personal experiences they had specifically with Cody. I had a mother tell me of an incident where Cody responded to a call at their home with a suicidal daughter, and how Cody helped her child in crisis. I had an Armenian gentleman stop me and describe Cody's friendship with him, calling Cody a true friend and brother. Another woman described Cody as a calm and compassionate police officer who helped her and her children when she was the victim of domestic violence. I even heard stories from co-workers about Cody's excitement and passion for doing the job, about Cody's sense of compassionate service to others, and about Cody the prankster. I won't go into detail on many of those stories. And I even heard about Cody's rather unique talent at constructing gourmet meals from the mystery ingredient basket at 7-Eleven. These have all been welcoming and enlightening stories, because beyond my own personal experiences and knowledge of Cody, these stories gave me an even greater sense into what kind of police officer Cody was, and more importantly, what kind of man he was. They told me of the positive differences Cody made in people's lives. And these stories were just a small summary of Cody's legacy. But they spoke to the value of what we do as police officers who serve and protect the communities we serve every day. In his life, in his service, Cody made real and positive differences in the lives of the people he worked with, socialized with, and even those who he may only have interacted with on a single call. He was a true peacekeeper. He was a guardian. He was a sheepdog. As I was preparing my remarks for this morning, I was reviewing Cody's employment file. And in his file was his initial application. And as part of that application, we require our applicants to write a short essay about why they want to become a police officer. I made a copy of that essay, and I thought it would be appropriate to read to you today. It says, please complete on this page in your own handwriting, something that I have to rethink, obviously. But Cody said, being a member of the West Valley City community my entire life, I have seen the professionalism and effectiveness of the West Valley City Police Department. I believe as a police officer we have a duty to the great citizens of West Valley to police the people that need to be policed and to provide order and security so that our citizens feel proud, safe, and at ease. I want to be part of the West Valley City Police family of law enforcement because of my personal connection and love for the city, as well as I know the West Valley City Police Department will give me the experiences and challenges I am looking for in a law enforcement career. What I found compelling about Cody's essay was how Cody had conveyed his rationale to become a police officer, especially a West Valley City police officer. Clearly, growing up, he had had positive interactions with officers of this police department and saw the values of the services that we provide. He dreamed of this job, committed himself to the challenge of achieving this goal, and more importantly, was what he did after becoming a police officer. He did what he set out to do. He helped others. He protected the community he was born and raised in. He made a difference. Even in his death, Cody continues to make a difference. He has brought a community together. Through all of this national debate and criticism we've endured, repeatedly hearing over the past few years of the need for law enforcement reform and injustices. Cody has shown through his actions, while some others may have made mistakes, and while improvements may be necessary in some places, in most cities, in most towns, and especially here in West Valley City, we have been moving in the right direction. Cody has shown who we really are, dedicated professionals committed to protecting our communities that we serve, ensuring the rights of others, and bringing offenders to account for the crimes that they commit. We are proud of our service, proud of our profession, and proud of the neighborhoods we protect. Most of all, we are proud of our country. We are the guardians, and we are the sheepdogs. And while we mourn this day of the great loss of one of our own sheepdogs, we remain undeterred from our purpose to protect and serve. Not now, not ever. But when that time came during the early morning hours of November 6, 2016, Officer Cody Brotherson stood strong. He was fearless in his actions to protect our community. His final act was in total alignment with the mission of the West Valley City Police Department, in that he was acting to protect the community, to prevent crime, and bring offenders to justice. If I can now have Alex and Braden come forward. On behalf of the mayor, city council, city manager, police department, and citizens of this great city, for your brother's dedicated service and sacrifice, I present you with this Medal of Honor. I'd now like to close my remarks by reciting a poem that I had once heard at the funeral services of another friend and fellow officer that I had attended nearly 20 years ago. You may be familiar with this poem. It's called The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from beginning to the end. He noted the first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But what he said and what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time he spent on earth, and now those who loved him know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard.
Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect, and more often wear a smile, remembering that the special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Thank you very much.
Words are sometimes weak. The words sometimes represent significant things. This past week, as I have gone about the city, people have stopped me in the store, on the street, at church, everywhere I went. They wanted to express their concern and their love to Cody's family. I speak not with my voice, but with the voice of tens of thousands who live in our city to say thank you for your son. They, like I, did not know him personally, but they knew what he was and what he did. And for that, they are truly grateful. If nothing else, that feeling, that gratitude is what you should carry with you from all those who love and support you. To our officers, thank you. We appreciate those who put their lives in harm's way. You may have noted some particular types of ceremony associated with Cody's funeral. That is because those who serve, who put themselves on the front lines of our society, form a very special bond. It is a bond that only they understand, because they share a common experience that is deeply personal, emotional, and profound. Cody shared in that. He was one of them, and he was a part of that bond. We appreciate those who put their lives so willingly to the front, never knowing what will happen. Cody didn't anticipate the events of that night. It is always there. The officers and their family members, their parents know. And that is why there is such an outpouring of love and concern. But perhaps of all of those, I would be remiss if I did not share some very particular ones. and they were the mothers who talked to me, who expressed concern that a mother had lost her son. It does not matter that Cody had grown to adulthood and was independent and on his own. There is a special place in the heart of every mother for her children, and they express that love and concern to you. Well, Cody is no longer with us. His body lies reposed before us, but his spirit lives on. He has gone to his Maker. He is now in the hands of the Lord. I am sure that there is a special reward in heaven for those who give their lives for their fellow beings, which Cody did. He forms a very elite group, and heaven will note him, will reward him, as Jesus taught us, in my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you, and there is a place prepared for a man such as Cody, who gave his all. So I close simply with this comment, and that is that you are loved, you are supported, the people of our city are indebted to you, and they will always remember your family, your son, and what he did for each of us. Thank you very much.
So you might be able to tell by our coordination up here that I've never had to do this before, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get his name right. I have written this speech many times, mentally and on paper. I have written angry, hateful words. I have written loving, soft words, and I have written a jumbled mess. The bad times have come to far outnumber the good. However, never in my life have I ever felt more pride and privilege than I do right now, and I need to say thank you. Thank you to all of our men and women in uniform, although there is a special place in my heart for those in blue. Thank you to the future men and women who choose to take on the weight that comes with a badge. A very sincere and special thank you to the West Valley City Police Department. Thank you for the protection, support, and love you have given me and my family, and I know it is nowhere close to being over. Thank you for giving me a sense of pride I have never felt about this city, simply by knowing that you are our police officers. And I know there's a lot of cops here today, but the best come from West Valley. And thank you for watching over my brother through the course of his career. I know that all those in blue feel this loss as closely as we do. Thank you for your strength. You have not been given enough time to mourn because there is a job to do. I see the pain in each of you, but as you stand there holding my family, I hear your radio, and I see that pause. The same pause my brother did, even as he was with his family taking a break that was never long enough from a shift that didn't seem to end. I see that pause, He was listening as you listen, and he was ready as you are to run out the door to protect those who needed him more. There are so many that deserve it, but I must give Steve Sandquist a more than earned thank you. I know you have faith in my family, but we cannot do this without your support. I know that you, like all those in law enforcement, are tired. I've seen you at 10 p.m., and I know your night never ended, but you would lie. Not with words, but with actions to make us think you slept. But you were there that next day at 10 a.m. Thank you for doing that for me, my family, and for Cody. I simply don't have the time to say it to all those who deserve it, but I have one more that I must thank. I must thank my brother Cody. Thank you for being the one to teach me how to climb trees, to get on the roof of our shed. Thank you for laying in the snow in your underwear to make me laugh, even if it was just to get me to stop crying before Mom came home. Thank you for being my role model and my hero. Thank you for showing me what you call tough love, even if it felt like punching. Thank you for showing me that the majority really do love cops. Those who don't are simply louder. Thank you for bringing our family the respect and honor you have. I will never have enough words or time to describe all that you have done for me. Just know that all the best qualities I have are the ones you have gifted me. I've heard this question lately, over and over. How are you doing? How's your family? Each day we wake up over and over without Cody. And each day we get put back together because we are shattered. Each day we are different, but never whole, for a piece will always be missing. So I have no answer. But also, I hear over and over the phrase, tell us if there's anything we can do. I don't like it, but it is a fact at some point, if you are not a police officer or their family, much sooner than I would like, you will move on and forget all this. So for all those who say, what can we do, and really mean it, I want to challenge you to thank and appreciate your law enforcement and do it loudly and publicly. Don't let tragedies be the only thing that reminds you what they are doing and sacrificing for you and your families every second you have the privilege to dial 911. Thank you.
sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears how precious came that grace of
We will now be pleased to hear from Officer Chris Priestnell, a friend and coworker. He will be followed by Officer Joseph Fedak, a friend and coworker. Following Officer Fedak's remarks, we will be pleased to hear Jessica Lee, Cody's fiance. Following Jessica's remarks, we will have a memorial slideshow presentation, after which I will have some closing remarks.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm not great at these seats either, great. It's not going to be as formal as some of these other guys coming up and grabbing me a coffee. Thank you, everybody. Those who know me are probably waiting for the inevitable swear word to slip out. I've got something, so no worries there, hopefully, right? I first met Cody in the academy. I was considered old for being 29. I was a cynical Army vet. Wanted to get out on the streets and bust heads. Cody's a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid. He had a sparkle in his eye. I thought we were polar opposites at first. We both had a passion for law enforcement, and we'd been born and raised in the community we'd come to serve. We quit our main jobs and self-enrolled in the academy, risked it all to become cops, so to speak. Something drove us to the lifestyle we soon inhabit. Little did I know he'd come to be my best friend. It started slow with lunches and small gatherings with mutual friends. Soon it blossomed into a friendship I would take for granted. We stayed deep partners for the majority of our time with West Valley. We did everything together. Car chases, foot pursuits, and fights, even a few write-ups. Sorry for where you're at. Well, I've been told you're not really working hard unless you get into a little bit of trouble anyway. Our friendship extended outside of work, of course. Some called it a bromance. Probably be pretty appropriate. His mustache was Wilson. Mine was Bilson. Though they never met. Our girlfriends called themselves the ladies on the side. We drank one too many, laughed until we cried, rode our Harleys for hundreds of miles. Not in that order. Highway patrol, where you at? To Cody's family, it was a tremendous honor to know him. He turned out to be one of the most amazing people I've ever met. I'm an older guy, and he's supposed to look up to me, but it was awesome. Right? To Jess, Cody and I talked at length about our relationships, our troubles at home. He would come to me when he was in trouble with you. He had the look on his face when he spoke about you that he loved every time. Thank you for bringing that light into his eyes. It goes without saying to my coworkers, we're all family. Thank you for your support, especially from Sergeant Colonel Lieutenant Burke. They're there to pick up the pieces. It's tough for them because they've got to stay strong for us as well. Also, my brothers and sisters in blue from across the nation, thank you for coming. I know it's not easy taking time off with your family and friends. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to introduce myself to people that don't know me. My name is Joe Fiat. I was a police officer here for 2 years. Just recently resigned October 1st. I'm also known as one of the boyfriends to Jess and Chris. Before I go any further, I have to thank Jess and the Brotherson family for asking me to speak today. It's a great honor. Also for, I was about to say, the police department and the FOP for getting me out here from New York. I wouldn't want to miss this, and there's a possibility that I could have. As I said before, as an officer here, since December 2014, and that time is when I met Cody. Within 2 years, we grew to be close friends, and he's one of the closest ones that I've ever had. When Jess asked me to speak today, I wasn't only honored, but I was terrified. Because I don't think I'm qualified to describe Cody in a few minutes in a small speech and actually do him justice. So my biggest challenge is how to begin this speech and then how to end it. I'd figure out how to start it out and then Cody. I was still in phase 1. I hadn't been hit by the train yet. Everybody knows that. We're at Maverick at 35 in red. Braves goes on, and as we all know, the baseball beam stops working, so we're just sitting down hanging out. In comes this blonde-haired, little baby-faced young man. He's got that cop chest. Everyone blames it on the best, but we know what it is. He walks up and he says, "What's up, bro?" And the kid literally sizes me up. Hadn't met him yet, but he sizes me up now. Part of me is like, who is this kid? And then the other half of me really respected it. When Cody put on his uniform, he had pride in it. He took a pride that only people that wear a uniform, whether it be military or police officer or firefighter or any type of first responder, understands that pride. When you that shift. We became good friends, and trust and love had developed. Cody had been there for me in a lot of situations that I was dealing with in my life, and I could always depend on him to be honest, be truthful, and be compassionate. Anyone that knew him knew that's exactly who he was. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I want to call a few people friends. Cody was truly a friend of mine. To his family, Cody and I had plenty of talks about you guys, Mom and Dad, Brandon and Alex. He loved and respected his parents. For all your endeavors as a family, everything you went through, hard times, just like every other family comes through, you did good. You raised a son that was loved, respected, and looked up to. As a parent, I know how proud I would be if my sons grew up to be anything like Cody. Jess, you were also a very good friend of mine. You weren't just Cody's girl, but at the same time, that's exactly who you were. You were his girl. You had a relationship that was admirable. Cody loves you dearly and always will. You are as everything as he is yours. My grandfather used to say is that you can always tell how a man loves a woman by the way he looks at her. The way Cody would look at you was very apparent that he was deeply in love with you. You look around this room and you know who the people are that will always be here for you, and I am one of those people. It's now the task to end this, and end this speech, and I wanted to do it right, I wanted to do it special. When I sat down and I thought about it, I don't know, just came in one day and I said, we're going to do it like this. In my belief, I believe that Cody is somebody that should be remembered for his love and his compassion and his friendship, his stupid humor, and all the things that really were him. So I'd like to ask everybody that's in the room to please join hands. For the people that knew Cody, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to remember the best memory that you have of Cody, the most recent memory, and I want you to hold on to it. As you hold on to this memory, I want to read you this poem. It's an Irish poem, so it'll be better than everybody else's. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear. Death leaves a heartache no one can heal, but love leaves a memory that no one can steal. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Cody, I love you, brother. God bless you all.
Cody Brotherson was an incredible man. He was so honest, loyal, and goofy. He was a son, brother, and friend. But to me, he was the love of my life. Our love for each other was so unique and honest, so I'll try my best to describe us and the man I love and admire. We met in September 2013. We were both seeing other people at the time, so definitely not love at first sight. But as the following few months came along, we both became single, and in April 2014, he asked me if I wanted to go play pool with him. We were inseparable ever since. We We've been together for 2.5 years, and from day one, he treated me like a princess. During our time together, we adopted a dog, bought a house. We fell in love fairly quickly and built a life together. We even planned out our future, getting married, having kids, building a house, and growing old together. We were able to experience and fully enjoy life together. I will always be thankful that we were able to travel to Virginia and Washington, D.C., California, Nevada, the Dominican Republic, and Colorado. I will never forget when we first started dating. I would come over to his house and make him dinner before he left for work. Usually as we pulled out of the neighborhood, he would turn left and I right. Well, one night he turned right after I did, and I knew right then that he was looking to pull me over for something. Sure enough, he pulled me over for not signaling into a merging lane. All I could think of is, that brat. He came up to the side of my car and he said he actually needed my license and registration because he called it in. It's true. So I gave it to him and he went back to his vehicle. Well, then I saw spotlights shining on me and I hear, "Please put your hands on the steering wheel." In the end, he let me off with a warning and thought he was pretty funny. I'm sure he still does. He loved being a police officer. After a long night, he would come home, tell me the most eventful part of his night while drinking a Jameson and ginger, then hold me tight and say I love you a lot. His friends and family, blood and blue, meant the world to him, and he would do anything for them. He and his brother Braden would say movie quotes out of nowhere. Usually they were pretty funny, but only the two of them would really understand what it was. He loved to say that certain movies were loosely based on his life. These included most Patrick Swayze movies, including Roadhouse, most Keanu Reeves movies, he's his favorite actor, especially Speed and The Matrix, and Jake Gyllenhaal in End of Watch and Southpaw. I also can't forget to mention, he's gonna be so mad at me, that he loved Phantom of the Opera, Moulin Rouge, Sweeney Todd, and Titanic. And you've heard before, he recently grew a mustache and named him Wilson, which he got from the movie Castaway. Just last week, he came home with a new toothbrush, so of course I asked if he wanted me to throw away his old one, and he said, no, that is for Wilson. Yes, he did call Wilson the mustache, but a toothbrush. And later that day, he came out of the shower and told me to smell Wilson, so I did. I gave him this look and I said, you use my conditioner. And with a big smirk on his face, he said, yeah, I did. Cody had 4 different laughs. One was almost manic and loud. One was right before he would say something either witty or sassy. One right before he would actually say something funny. And one where there was legitimately something funny happening, which I saw a lot of, especially when I couldn't stop laughing at him. He had the most beautiful smile that would just make you feel good. I called it his genuine smile. And then there was the way he would look at me. It's one I can't even explain or describe, but can only picture. We loved each other with our entire souls, and my heart is absolutely shattered not having him here with me. He loved with everything he had. And a really good friend of ours just recently said to me, to hear the way a man could talk about a woman the way he talked about you gives you hope and love. Yours was true and always will be. So I want to thank Cody, the love of my life, for being my rock, my number one fan, and for loving me with everything he was. I will always love you, and even when it's my turn, it'll always be you. Baby, we had a really good life. Thank you.
Folded flag, stained with tears. They remove the badge from your chest. God, this can't be real. Now you walk a beat in heaven on God's streets of gold. When I take my last breath, you'll be waiting at heaven's door. Hollow ground stands a stone, a solemn lion who stands alone, a tribute to your honor, fallen brothers too. Lives taken out of anger, hatred of the blue. If it wasn't for the bagpipes would not play. Beautiful, amazing grace, as they fold the flag and pray. People would be silent, rifles would not draw. If it wasn't for the badge, they would be found calm. Carved on these walls, the sacrifice one gives. It's not how they die, it's how they live. If it wasn't for the badge, bagpipes lives were not planned. Beautiful, amazing grace, as they fold the flag and pray. You would be silent, rifles would not draw. If it wasn't for the badge, there would be no final call. I know God called you home, and I miss you so bad. I never would have met you if it wasn't for the band.
Is that right, Jessica? Just looking at that video that privilege of helping put together, I can't help but look at the picture of Cody going to Disneyland in the car, dragging his brothers around with that grin on his face. And his graveyard crew have told me all kinds of stories. How he drives and how he responded. I can see that same face. Cody dragging around the city as he serves. I'd like to thank all those who have participated in the program today as we pay respect to a loving son, brother, fiance, friend, co-worker, and brother Blue. It has been by far one of the most difficult times in the history of this police department. Calls for assistance, love, support have been truly overwhelming. The family would like to thank and extend their sincere gratitude to the Valley View Mortuary for providing the services and care to Cody. They would like to thank the countless foundations, co-workers, and friends who have been so generous to the family. Words would never be enough to say thank you and love to Sergeant Jake Hill for being one of their rocks during this devastating time. To Cody's graveyard crew, thank you for loving our son and taking care of him. I would like to thank the emergency responders who did everything possible to save Cody's life. Thank you to Officer Perez for supporting the family during this difficult time. As you heard today, as Chief Russell presented the Medal of Honor to Alex Prager. The Medal of Honor is the United States Army military gives out. It is awarded to personnel for acts of valor above beyond the call of duty. The medal is awarded by the President of the United States in the name of the U.S. Congress to U.S. military personnel. Police departments, too, have many awards that honor our officers with, whether it be a Medal of Valor or Medal of Honor for police departments. Chief Russell authorized the awarding of the Medal of Honor to Officer Brotherson. I had the privilege and the honor to assist Jeff in dressing Officer Brotherson in his Class A uniform. I'm privileged to honor you as a honor, present that to you. So I thank you for that. As we are here today to honor Cody, I want to honor all of my fellow brothers and sisters in blue who answer the call each and every day. You are the sheepdogs, the protectors of the flock, who confront the wolf, as was mentioned by Chief Russell and a few of the other speakers. I want to explain a little bit about this analogy that many law enforcement officers and military personnel refer to. To understand the analogy, let me explain the difference between the wolf, the sheep, and the sheepdog. The sheep represent those citizens that are kind, decent people who obey the law, love and help their fellow man, and are not capable of hurting each other, except in extreme circumstances. The wolf feeds on the sheep without mercy. There are evil men in this world capable of evil deeds. And the minute you forget that, or pretend it's not true, you become a sheep. And there are the sheepdogs. They live to protect the flock and confront the wolf. Understand that there is nothing morally superior about being a sheepdog. It is just what you chose to be. And understand that the sheepdog is a funny critter. He's always sniffing around the perimeter, checking the breeze, barking at things that go bump in the night, and yearning for a righteous battle. That is, the young sheepdog yearns for a righteous battle. The old sheepdogs are a little older and wiser, but they move to the sounds of the gun when needed, right along with the young ones. To all the sheepdogs and the warriors who were with Cody on this tragic night, and to all the officers that have said or thought, I wish I could have been there. Maybe I could have made a difference. Know that you do make a difference. The sheep need you, strong warriors, to protect them from the predators. Cody did as each and every one of you would have done, and as so many have done many countless times, and continue to do. He moved to the sounds of the gun rather than fear. Thank you for your service. Thank you to the men and women of the West Valley State Police Department. I could not be prouder, and I am truly humbled and honored to be numbered amongst you. May God watch over and protect each and every one of you. May the Brotherson family feel the comfort of your son, fiance, and our hero as the days to come. Greater love hath no man, and he laid down his life for a friend. Officers, take care of each other and be safe. I would like to recognize the pallbearers, Jeff Brotherson, Ray Brotherson, Jeff Brotherson, Derek Richards, Tyler Ison, Derek Jordan, Rick Turner, Mike Rounds, Joe Malik. Honorary Paul Parrish, Alex Brotherson, Joe Malik, Dallas Richards, Jake Malik. The interment will be held at the Valley View Mortuary, where the dedication of the grave will be done by Justin. After which I will give details on the interment.
Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we bow our heads at the close of this funeral service and offer our voices of gratitude for the opportunity we've had of being here together. We're grateful for the sacrifices that the Brotherson family and Jessica have made. We're grateful for the dedication of not just Cody, but of all of those young men and young women who so freely and energetically serve to protect and conserve the way of life with which thou hast blessed us. We ask you to bless the Brotherson family and Jessica with the spirit of healing, strength, and comfort in their time of difficulty. May they continue to set this example for all of us as to how to conduct themselves with kindness, with concern for others. We're grateful for all of the men and women, not just this community, but for those across the nation who dedicate their lives to, again, protecting us. We ask you to bless them, especially those that are here, that they will be protected on their way home, and no harm nor accident will befall them, and that may they continue to give so unselfishly so that we can not just talk to thee, but have the lives with which thou hast blessed us. Maybe we, each and every one of us, consider how we can contribute to make this land a better land, especially in this time of divisiveness. Be with us as we continue with this service, that all will be safe. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
So the procession is going to be done in two different ways. First, we would invite all of the outside law enforcement agencies to exit, and they will go ahead and they will start the procession. They will be outside to help get it started. After the outside law enforcement agencies have completed the procession, we will follow up right behind you, West Valley City, besides family Cody. And once at the gravesite, we will rally around the gravesite. So if I could just invite the outside agencies to exit, and we'll be at and take a direction outside to start the procession. West Valley City officers remaining at your time and my family to go back to a room to watch the proceedings. And we will come back out, which is like, the card, they will give you instructions, so we just wait inside. Your Honor, bless the family back to your room. Please stand. Please be seated. Maybe a little bit, 30 or 45 minutes, an hour. But we'll be back here to give you corrections. Relax.